And what's so beautiful when we're on our expeditions, and this happens virtually every time, not only do we have the support of the ancient beings and the ETs and the people from the future and the celestials, but we have the presence of the avatar, and in both France and England, we smelled the rose fragrance that indicates the presence of the avatar as well.
Well, yes, I forgot about that. I'm so glad you mentioned it. We were, this particular night when we were going out to the field where there were these ETs, and we had done the puja.
In France,
there was this strong, and everyone smelled it. It's like if you took the oil, what they call the attar of rose in Persia, but the essence of rose oil, that beautiful sort of fragrance, it was all in the air all around us. And we were not anywhere near any roses, right? We're out in a hayfield.
Right.
And it was amazing. And so, at that, because, again, if everyone wants to think in sort of a separation mentality, the sort of Western view of everything is in a little compartmented box. But it isn't. We are physical human beings with physical bodies, but we have a consciousness and a spirit within us that's universal. And there's everything in between. And that's what's happening during these contact events. We're having interstellar civilizations there, but we're also having celestial and angelic presences, as well as these very evolved sort of Godhead figures that appear. And with them will be this sort of beautiful fragrance that is something truly celestial that comes in, as well as the consciousness. I know that first day we were in the crop circle where the craft was overhead and got photographed, and we had the detectors making the Orion transmission tones. The emotion that swept through the whole group was
right.
Overwhelming. I mean, I couldn't speak.
We all felt it.
Yeah, it was just it was beautiful, and it wasn't just me. It was almost everyone was affected this way, and so that's sort of the exciting thing about this is when you realize that we're all a part of a whole, and that the whole, once one enters into this state of wholeness, of consciousness, then all those dimensions and realities are present. It isn't just about seeing a UFO or an ET craft. And this is something most people don't expect initially, because if they study the subject, it's all very been oriented towards a sort of materialistic, reductionist, let's kick the tires on the UFO. And there is that. I mean, there are physical craft and there are physical images and what have you. But what's really amazing is that there are all these other aspects of it that are in the higher states of consciousness that are with it. And this is what you would expect from civilizations that, in order to travel from one star system to another, have to go into and transect, if you will, and go through these other dimensions that are conscious, the astral, the celestial. They have to be aware of this, because you can't go faster than the speed of light, staying as a solid material object. So this knowledge and consciousness is the big science. And I've said many times that the next once we get these free energy devices and anti-gravity systems out so we can run the world on a wholly new paradigm of energy generation, the real focus for our civilization are going to be these sciences and consciousness. And this is why the Vedic knowledge, the knowledge of the puja, everything that people on the World Puja Network are studying are going to be not peripheral, but central to our civilization in the next 1,000 years.